I'm Kelvin from Stone Treatment. I'm here at CBS grinding and repolishing the stone floors. Well, first of all, it looks a whole lot better with a nice and shiny floor. So there's also a question about light, that it captures the light better, it reflects the light more. So when we go into the dark periods of the year, which is coming up now, it'll reflect the light more and it'll make the room seem brighter than before when it wasn't shiny. I'm changing the pads because we finished grinding with the number 6, so now we're moving on to number 7, which is the last polishing, and make it shiny and bright. Actually, this kind of stone here, the Öland stone, is probably my favorite because it has such an enormous amount of history in the stone. So it has a lot of fossilizations and a lot of mineral deposits, and it gives a lot of story to tell about how the weather was and how things were like maybe 500,000 years ago when it was made. So Öland stone is kind of my favorite stone, and I like the color as well. So you can see here there's a lot of different minerals here. You have the standard green minerals, then you have a lighter green mineral running through here. You have a fossilization running down through here. And then you have some kind of purple running around the fossilization, and also over here on the other side of the stone here. There's a lot of purple mineral that I do not know what is and what has created that color, but it's a really nice stone all put together. It has a lot of different things going on in it, so it's very interesting. Well, I find a couple of nice spinal cords that I can show you, and they're over here. It's by the entrance to the Deloitte auditorium, if anyone is interested. And you can see here, it's a bit larger, so it's larger, so it's more presentable. It's easier to find. So, and then I have a really clear one that's over here. Let me see if I can find it again. Here it is. And you can actually see here that some of the minerals from back then has been inlaid into the bone here. It's been captured in some way. I don't know how that process has gone, but you can see the edges that are around here. That's the spinal cord, and then some of the spinal cord has been filled up by different minerals, so that gives it the different colors that it has, and it has very clean lines, and it's very beautiful. So what we're doing now is, this is the final polishing of the stone. And we're using a powder mixed with water, and that will generate the paste that we have here. We're using a special pad here, and then we're using this, which is a thermal disc that generates heat. And the heat and the polishing powder and the pad will help the stone recrystallize on the surface, and that is what makes the stone so shiny in the end. And as you can see here, I'll just move my bucket of water. And as you can see over here on the thermal pad, it is actually quite hot. It'll boil the water right away. Yeah, we worked at CBS in Dalgashavn previously, and we grinded and repolished the marble floors out there. They were quite an interesting floor to work with because they're black and white marble, and those two stones don't respond the same way. So it was a little bit challenging, but we got a really good result and a very nice shine on it. So I'm very proud of that. Now we're ready to do the final touch on the floor, which is a product that seals the floor up. It's a lot easier for the cleaning staff to get a nice and clean floor, and that will improve the interior environment. So because this is an oil-based product, we have to wipe it off completely after we have spread it out, because otherwise it'll leave a residue that'll harden as well, and that'll leave a white, almost wax-like surface, and that's no good. It's actually the hardest part of my job because you're lying down on the floor and you're wiping it off, and you actually get a little sweat going. So it's a good workout. But it's kind of like dotting the I and crossing the T's. It's the finishing touch. Yeah, we worked at the new opera house as well, the one that Maersk built and gave to Copenhagen. And we did only the foyer out there, so that's the lowest floor, the ground floor, and we actually grinded and repolished it to such a shine because it's a different stone, and that we were able to see a mirror reflection of Amalienborg across the water where the Queen lives. So that was kind of an interesting reflection to have and work with.